All right, how's everybody doing today? Cobra Trading back again for another video. So I was going to do my video on the RSI today. However, with all of the price action that's going on with Bitcoin now, I figured it would probably be more valuable to just take a look at Bitcoin, do a full-on analysis video today. I want to take a look at price action and some Fibonacci relationships as well as some Ichimoku cloud. Let's go ahead and get into it. So you can see right off the bat, our daily chart is looking like total doo-doo right now. It looks really bad, really super bearish daily candle here. And, we have seen this before, as price action was continuing up higher. We saw this here. We saw this here. So this isn't really anything new to us. However, Bitcoin being down, 10, 12, or I guess, 15%, whatever it is right now, is quite a bit, especially, those percentages in terms of dollar value, those get a lot higher, when you're this high in price versus, down at $10,000. Losing 10% at $10,000, not that big of a deal. Losing 10 or 15% at $42,000 is a lot bigger of a price drop. So all of that considered, let's go ahead and take a look at some confluence. Let's kind of see if we can find some levels of support where we may end up bouncing. And for right here on the daily chart, you can see that the volume here has just been absolutely increasing like crazy. I mean, ever since really, way back here, the volume has been ridiculous. So this is no different. This is a major high volume dump right here. Normally, after we see something like this, normally the volume, when it gets really high, normally it ends up tapering off. So we'll have to see what is in store for us later in the week. Let's go ahead and take a look at our daily indicators here. Obviously, we have a bearish cross in our MACD. Our RSI was overbought, I guess, from Christmas until literally, I guess, today, when we finally broke back into normal territory. This kind of tells me on this higher time frame that we might be either experiencing a trend change, or we might be going into an area of consolidation or reaccumulation. Ichimoku cloud not really showing us too much. Right now, we're using our Tenkan-sen as support here. So that is a good sign. We haven't really actually tested this since way back here, I guess, on the 11th. So that is actually a really good sign that we're coming in for another test of this. We tried to test it here on the 4th. Didn't actually hit it, and we just bounced up and kept moving higher. So coming down to a 4-hour chart, you can see clearly, obviously, we've broken below all of that. This is now a level of resistance here that we had. This is a level of resistance here, and we're actually oversold on our 4-hour chart. So obviously, this is such a huge price drop. We came all the way from about 41,100 all the way down to we touched 30,250. So pretty significant price drop. We are using the top of our Ichimoku cloud on the 4-hour chart as support, which is good. We also tapped this support box down here. Let me go ahead and turn that off. And this is pretty much what I really want to get into with you guys today in terms of Fibonacci relationships. So we've got these two areas that we're in right now. And honestly, I could kind of see this being our new range. I would be kind of happy with this range. I wouldn't mind this at all. Dipping below here in the support box, then we would start having some serious problems. But how do we end up looking for a bottom here? Well, there's a couple ways to do it. You can use your price action and use obviously your support and resistance like I've done here, but you also want to have some kind of confluence with another kind of analysis, right? So on this 4-hour chart, we've got all of this price action, and you can see here that along the way, we've kind of made these little shelves, right? So normally what I like to do is I like to take my fib retracement and just go from the last major dip that we had to our most recent top. So there's pretty much where we stand. This was our last really major retracement until our major top. If you exclude this wick here, I've seen a lot of people measuring this different ways. I've seen them measuring it from here, and it's lining up perfectly with the 618. I don't know why you would measure from here, though. That doesn't really make too much sense to me. But since the actual fib retracement is a little circumstantial, and it can now be formed to bias. What I like to use instead is I like to look for confluence with our fib-based extension tool, right? So this was our second previous swing high. This was our last swing low. This was our newest swing high. And what do you know? When you zoom in here, you've got exactly a perfect bounce right off of our 1618 level, because the way that I'm measuring it here, this would be to measure another move to the downside. So I really like using this. It works very well for finding bottoms. Normally, if you're measuring for retracement and you measure it like this, normally if you see something where you just end up blasting through the 618, normally you will end up hitting that deeper level of retracement. Okay, so I literally stepped away from my computer to make a cup of coffee in the middle of recording this video and came back to this. Bam. So, yeah, that just happened. Really nice tweezer bottom here on the candlesticks. That's a really, really nice formation. Now, this candle on the 4-hour chart, it does have 2 hours to go. It's currently about 12:40-ish here on the eastern border. This has quite some time to go. Clearly, we could just be wicking up here and then it could completely reverse and we could go down deeper, maybe try to double tap down here or something. We're not really sure, obviously. Only time will tell, but so far this is a very, very nice bounce. Let's go ahead and take a look actually at upside targets. So the way that you would do that is last bottom, last high, current bottom. So this would be basically where you would be looking, breaking through and closing above this 236 on the 4-hour chart. I would at least be targeting 35,600. And then the golden pocket for the upside would be up here at our previous, this is another level of resistance up here, golden pocket at about 39,000. I posted on Twitter earlier today that, man, it doesn't really feel like anything anymore. When Bitcoin's like, oh yeah, I'm going to go down, $10,000, it like doesn't really feel like anything anymore, especially for those that have been around in the space for so long now. It's like, oh, well, I guess if it goes past $10,000, I guess it'll go 15 or 20. I'll just ladder lower. Going through such a long sustained bear markets is just kind of like second nature for a lot of us at this point. For those of you that are just getting into the space, you ain't seen nothing yet. This would be a very small retracement in terms of Bitcoin. Obviously, in 2018, we watched it go down like 86 or 88%. Let's go down and take a look at the 1-hour chart. Why not? So the first thing I want to bring your attention to is our Ichimoku cloud. Clearly, we have been having multiple closes below our 200 EMA. And if you actually caught this here, this was perfect. Like this was textbook, right? So we came down, we tested our 200 EMA as support. We closed below it, broke down further, came up off of a bounce and retested it bearishly, perfectly with a bearish hammer. This would have been the perfect opportunity to be shorting. You would have gotten in about 35,350 or so. If you measure that out, if you did catch this short, congratulations. That was a very, very solid move. That's 10%. These large price swings in terms of percentage with how high we are in dollar value for Bitcoin now, it's kind of a double-edged sword, right? If you're in a losing trade, it's going to really, really destroy you. But if you're in a winning trade, it's a lot easier to pick up, like 2%, 5%, because our price movements now are so much more significant. All right, so taking our Ichimoku cloud off and just doing a standard regular fib retracement here, we're battling to close above this 236 level. This candle closes in about 13 minutes, so this candle will definitely be closed, and the next hour candle will probably be halfway through before this video is even uploaded. So time will tell what holds here. It looks like we're kind of going to get some kind of a Darth Maul candle here, but we'll have to wait and see. From this point, especially for the upside, I really, really would like to see about 37,500. But my first target, playing this from the long side, which I am currently in a long position, from down here, I've been laddering in since I think since we closed below our 382, I didn't take profit here. And once this happened, when I stepped away from my computer, I was pretty much just laddering in smaller entries. And I think I still have ladders all the way down into here, into this territory. I think my stop is just below this candle here. So no worries there. That's a pretty small position. I believe I tweeted it out on Twitter or whatever, using it's just my public scalping account that I use on Bybit. So with all that said, I really think that if we do bounce here, those are, like I mentioned, those are the targets that I'm going to be looking for. One of the other reasons why I think that we will be bouncing here, just real quickly, is you can see here that not only on our MACD, the KMAC that I have down here, we've got a higher low here, and we also have a higher low here on our RSI. So that was actually one of the main topics that I wanted to talk about with the RSI. Is I literally only use it on 1 hour and below timeframes for looking for divergence as a confirmation for entries and laddering in and stuff. That's literally all I use it for. I don't use it for anything else on the lower time frames. It's pretty much useless. Bitcoin doesn't care if it's overbought or oversold. If you've been around for a while, you know this. We continued our uptrend up. It was very, very, very strong to the point where the RSI got up to over 90 again, or about 90. And now we're seeing this huge retracement. And right now we're testing that 55, 56-ish level. That is very, very important. So that's where the question still remains. Do we bounce here and, maybe we try to retest our upper limit on the RSI and then head back down and, and retest our midpoint? Or are we going to violate the midpoint altogether? Which, in my opinion, if we see any candle closes, especially on the 4 hour or the daily chart, if we do see closes below 29,000, then these levels down here, 25,000. And so these levels in here, those levels are definitely going to be in play. Like, these are now your next support and resistance levels for the downside. It looks like you've got another small one here, in this area. So, these are pretty much the levels that we would have to be looking for later on if those are violated, because since we've never been this high in price action before, it's going to be kind of hard to judge where our new bottom is going to be. Is it going to be, if we see a major retracement, and that was the top for 2021, which I don't think it is, but if it was, where is our new bottom? 20K, 15K, 10K? We don't really know, but in the past, we can only use previous price history to kind of get an idea for how deep the price will retrace. All right, guys, I really appreciate you staying with me. I hope that you are being safe and trading very carefully in this very volatile price action. Again, happy Monday. I'm your host, Cobra Trading, signing off until probably Wednesday. I'll do a 90-second analysis, and I'm going to get that RSI video up before Friday for you guys. So stay tuned for that. If you're new to the channel, make sure that you smash the like and subscribe button so that you get updates for all my tutorials and analysis videos. Other than that, enjoy the rest of your week and happy trading.